Thank you for joining us today. We are doing Paint and Ponder with the wonderful The Holy Rogue.
Hey guys.
Thank you.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us today. We will be doing some neurographic art, just going back to basics. I'll be introducing it to The Holy Rogue.
Yep, I never did it before, so this is going to be really fun.
Yeah, and I just said hello quickly before the stream and just reiterated that I do quite a lot. Anyone can do this. You don't need anything in mind at the start. You don't need any skills. We're doing it today with pencils. So I have my watercolor pencils. I'll be using them.
Hey Irish, how are you?
Thank you for joining us. So yeah, sharpener. We're gonna just lurking while working. I like that. Thank you.
I like that. I'm going to use that line.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, and I've got a few things. I'm just going to ask you sort of how we've got to here and how you're doing now and how the old journey's been.
Oh man, it's been overall good. It's been very revealing to myself because talking about my condition and my neurospiciness, whatever you want to call it, is something I've never done before. So to be doing it, to me, it's very public, is very therapeutic. It's better than I thought it would be. And it's nice to see, it lets me see more of who I am, and it's really wild. It takes away some of that assumption too, that, oh, people are going to think this way, or people are going to think that way. It just,
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter anymore.
Will reflect back to your good qualities when sometimes the voice in the back of your head is like, I call it the gob in the void. And I said, that's why it's so miserable all the time, because it's just this floating gob in the void. It doesn't even have a stomach. It can't even have something delicious to eat. It's just this gob in the void. So yeah, it's nice to have good things come back and you're like, oh,
yeah,
actually.
it really is. It really is. And yeah, I don't know. It's hard to express. It's nice to have real friends. Para relationships is sometimes better for me. I don't need to be, intimately with other people. I tend to back away from that just for my own personal taste. But para relationships like this and with the community helps me a lot. Again, it's more communication rather than dealing with all the other stuff. And I just want to thank you for letting me be on here, and thank you to everybody who's, supported me and understand where I'm coming from. Yeah.
Thank you for speaking up, because you do, and you have such a good voice of reason on a lot of things. And I think when you're made to really reflect on yourself, it does make you more inclined to take a step back from situations as well and go, okay, I can't always trust. It's not that I can't trust myself. I can't always trust my first instinct. So I will take time and that space back and reassess. So though it might not always come from the greatest of background stories, I think it's a really valuable thing to have that I'm saying sort of within myself. I'm not sort of putting that on you.
I get it. Yeah.
But also I completely agree with what you said about when you come and speak out and you don't realize how helpful it's going to be. And I feel like a lot of people are verbal or vocal processors. So you process things as you're saying it out loud. So that's how I do it. So that's why it just sounds like I'm arguing with myself a lot. It's because I couldn't quite figure that out in my brain.
Yeah, it's a processing issue. Yeah. And I've come to terms with that too, just by studying what I have. And all that study is fascinating because, again, like, as you know, I've been in Scientology, and I was taught that psychiatry was the devil. You know what I mean? And it's ridiculous. But like, man, we're talking heavy, like, I don't know how to give an analogy. Like, let's say you have friends or a friend that wants to go and date a serial killer, and you're just like, no, you can't. Like, that's what it was like with Scientology in a way, like how evil they are and all this. And you
Yeah.
really, they convinced me hardcore. And for me to get out, slowly peel away from it, and realize, you know, after my wife said, "Hey, I think you need help," I finally looked, and it's very accurate. You know, psychiatry is very accurate. And
The
for me,
thing, yeah, it's almost like you're going to Coca-Cola because you're dehydrated and having medical issues, and them going, drink more Coke. By the way, water is the devil.
yeah, that's
It's
a good
like,
one. Yeah.
it's like, oh, if only I'd have known then why they were telling me that.
Yeah, yeah.
If you hadn't known, you wouldn't have been in that position. So
It's bad. And I've
yeah,
seen, while I was on staff, I have stories where I've seen people on the spectrum, and you know, I just can remember them having like nervous breakdowns and stuff. You know, it's sad, really sad.
yeah.
'Cause they just don't take care serious. Um, yeah,
I was going to say that would be something that I think I definitely picked up on before I even had any sort of awareness of autism, let alone that I was on the spectrum. And I feel like I just sort of seen sort of people and understood why they were reacting, and you get this sort of these heart pangs, and you're like, no, you don't understand. They're only being like this because it's so hot in the room and the sun's blasting in,
yeah,
and
right,
it's blinding them. They need to
right.
get out. Like, it can be something that simple, but
Sensory overload, something as
yeah,
simple as that.
but
Yeah,
it's really heartbreaking to see. And so,
it really is. It really is. I see that at work sometimes, and if I do, I call it out. You know, we have a good work environment with people with on the spectrum of whatever. Um, they have a good, safe place. It's cool. And but you know, if you see that one boss here and there who's like over masculine and fucking stuck in the '80s, you know, and
yeah,
uh, you know, he doesn't get it, and you know, he doesn't want to.
but
So
yeah.
if I might hear something, you know, I'll usually say something.
I suppose going from like literal cult leader to a crappy boss, like it could have been easier for you to go, it's not that bad, but you'll still be like, nope, that's wrong. I'm saying
Yeah,
something. That's
yeah.
incredible. That is incredible. Right, I
Well, it
think we're
is, you know,
about.
because it's empathy. It's an
Pardon?
amazing empathy. Empathy is a beautiful thing. Empathy is like this very tangible thing. Um, that's why there's so many people who say we're empaths, and some people, you know, have other gifts. But you feel that person. You feel that person with their disability. You can relate to them. And does this happen to you? I'm sure it does. I can't answer for you, but if you went into a room of 50 people, could you spot the people on the spectrum immediately? Yeah,
I just sort of
exactly.
gravitate towards them.
Exactly. It's
Yeah,
amazing, isn't it? Yeah, it
yeah,
really is. And you just gravitate right to them. Start laughing, whatever. And they know, you know, like phew, there's a connection. It's like on
yeah,
the same level. It's really cool. And you got this empathy. We can feel them. And you know what they're going through when somebody makes a negative comment to them about their condition.
yeah.
And it's like, you know, I don't like to see that. It feels bad.
We've got Miriam, Scientology up north, saying hello
Hey,
in the chat, and
hey.
Joe's here. Thank you for being here.
Thanks, Joe. Thanks.
There we go. Right, did you want to get on with some neurographic art today?
Oh, hell yeah. So let me set up my camera. Okay,
We
right.
will be starting off just with plain paper and pencil.
Okay. Wait a minute. I don't know if I got this right.
There we go. Hope that was swift. Didn't make anyone seasick. Say as well, if some people really struggle with this next bit, if you do struggle, don't worry. You can always do it with your other hand. So the first part is we're going to do some lines, and you're going to try and go counterintuitive. So you're going to want to go on swift this way, or you want to go up and make a swift line. You're not going to go up, you're going to go down.
All right, do you want me to do a line in the middle?
No.
Like, okay.
So you're just going to go on the page. So I could even start
So
here.
I'm going to go counterintuitive. So if I want to go up, I'll go down, and I'll kind of go against the grain.
Yeah, and do it as much as you want, and for as long as feels right. But just try and take some deep breaths beforehand, and just relax and feel where the pencil wants to go, so you can go the opposite way. This is not the satisfying part. The satisfying part is when we take the edge off. So it's when we go back over, and everywhere where the lines cross. Here's one example.
Oh, wow.
So you can just do one. So we'll put some circles on afterwards.
That reminds me of like that famous God picture when he's reaching down, but it's like two aliens.
And this one, where all the lines meet, where they cross over, we're going to go around and just take the edge off. So when you take the edge off, there's actually neurons in your brain that feel calmed and relaxed by that. And it mirrors the neurons in your brain.
That's nice.
Google's a lot smarter than I am.
That looks like a cat paw.
Yeah, that's the beautiful thing as well. You can see so many different things when you do.
Yeah, it is. I love it. Yeah.
What have we got? Oh, here's one I did in pencil before.
Oh, come on. That's great. Wow.
So that was, yeah. Do not feel the need.
That's just from doing the style that we're doing now.
Yeah, and then afterwards I went and I put 3 circles over the top.
Wow.
So yeah, you can normally put 1, 2, 3, 5, how many circles that you want on afterwards, but that's after we do the counterintuitive lines.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. This sounds exciting. So I'm just going to get started, I guess.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. First time, everybody.
Hi, Rika.
I'm going to close my eyes and do this.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah. Say if you struggle doing this, you can always do it with your non-dominant hand. Right. Or you can put I got marbles. I've lost my marbles. Literally. No, I haven't. They're here. You can do it with marbles. So can we see this at all? Put the marble down, and then you could just follow the marble. Oh, that it's going downhill. It's not going to work. Gravity. Remember gravity.
I'm kind of just going random, but it's hard to be counterintuitive, but I'm doing it sort of.
But you find the more you go, you might, you can go faster, right? Rather than slower, you don't have to, but you find the more you do it, the more you want to get into the flow and do it this way you want to do it. And you got no. So it's just a good way to be conscious. You're not like trying to upset yourself by being like that.
All right, I think I'm done with this. Wow. Okay. Beautiful.
Awesome.
This is going to come out pretty interesting.
Nice. So I would then get your pencils and then just start picking shape. Oh no, your circles. Sorry, been a while.
Oh yeah, it's all right.
I didn't tell you to bring anything circle as well, so sorry for that.
Okay, I can get a glass or something.
Yeah, glass, or you can freehand the circles. But yeah, if you
okay,
like,
let me check it.
Sweet. Just gonna try to finish.
All right. So let's see. So I'm going to do 3 circles across.
Yeah, you can do 1, 3. You can do however many you want. That the circles can overlap as well, or they can be completely random.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's the only thing with these. I think I'm a bit rusty on these because I'm getting very forget that I'm actually streaming.
Cool.
Oh. Okay.
So there we go.
Can we see that?
Yep. Neat. Yeah, you have a little light.
You know, it looks blue. Oh well.
Yeah.
Right, we've got my pencils. So yeah, now you can be a lot more intentional. If you wanted to pick out like segments in this one, I've done warmer colours on the inside of the circles. So like the reds, yellows, pink, orange.
Yeah.
And then the outside I've done like greens and blues, but I have put some darker purples on the outside and some pinkies on the inside. So
that's a cool idea. Okay.
You can go with something like that.
So I like that idea. Let's see.
Got so many notepads.
So I'll just start coloring in.
Yeah, just go for it.
Yeah, nice. Let me see. So Fluffer, if I don't know if you play any musical instruments.
No.
Neither do I. But if you if you could, what would be the top 3?
Jazz flute, saxophone, drums.
Wow.
Oh, maybe trumpet.
Wow. Wow, you like the brass. That's cool.
Yes.
Very cool.
That is the quickest I will ever answer a question. I didn't know that I would do that quick. Please no one expect me to answer questions that quickly. I shocked myself.
It's funny.
What would you play?
You know, it number one would be piano because of the keys. You can really make any kind of poetry into a piano song, or like I like to do haiku. My brain somehow registers that, and piano just goes well with that. And then close second would be acoustic. Again, just for songwriting. But then third, this is tougher. And I've always just been stuck on those two. I think a flute is actually a really good idea. I like how portable it is and how natural it is. It's such a natural instrument. You don't need any kind of crafting. Well, you do, but you know they've been using the flute for how long? I like that.
There's different flutes. There's one flute, I think Pygmies invented this flute and it only makes one note, but the way like you like sing back to the flute as you're playing it, so you'd blow it and they go
wow.
And it sounds amazing. So beautiful for an instrument that makes one note.
Yeah, it's amazing. It is. Drumming would be cool because you can drum on anything, you know, like if you, but man, I do not have that coordination.
I don't think I have either. I think that's just a dream. Yeah, I think you picked quite lead instruments. Like my instruments, I think are sort of like follow along. They're sort of playful follow.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, that's right. They're solo too.
Yeah, you've picked the main course where I'm like a dessert.
Do you write?
I want to say no, because anything that I do is just sort of silly, and I wouldn't do anything with or tell anyone about, really.
Yeah. Well, you mean writing wise?
Yeah, like I might write some songs and some poems and some stories.
Oh, that's awesome.
Like movies, like movie ideas.
Wow. No, really, that's awesome. I studied just from books, you know, but the study was still pretty useful. I studied about how to make short films and how to make a film as far as the acts go, like acts 1, 2, and 3, and all that. Yeah. It's not hard to learn, and it's really fun, you know. I have a lot of hopes and dreams with writing. I'm just such a procrastinator, and because of my negativity, I get like, you know. But I'm trying to work through that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'd love to hear one of your story ideas. I love stories. I create a lot of stories. If you're up for it, you know, you don't have to.
Yeah, I've got down and jotted down. There's one that I've got that's it's about someone who is just sort of working at a shop and just sort of blanking out and not having a great time, and then goes home to see their dogs. No, they get like a bonus that day, so they treat themselves to this like narwhal fruit bowl.
Yeah.
And they put them up the stairs, go up the stairs to say hello to the dogs, and the dog jumps up and pushes them down the stairs, and they get impaled on the narwhal.
Wow.
And the next thing, they go into heaven on a cloud with wings. It's like they go to gay heaven, and the cloud's like the color of a rainbow, and it just talks about how heaven, like there's like everyone goes to the heaven they imagine.
Right.
And so like gay heaven is like the filtration for me becoming at ease with whatever I need to then my soul goes back into the big Soul Machine.
Those are good stories, man. Absolutely.
Oh, honestly, I have that one. I have scenes wrote out. I have characters.
Wow. Wow. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, it's like pretty funny, but also
look, if you did short stories, you can self-publish. Amazon lets you self-publish. And that's what I'm gonna do. I have a book of poetry I'm gonna do, and I'm excited about it. Hopefully, get it done in a couple of weeks.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah, just of haiku, and it'll be my chance to kind of publish something and say my insights to the world.
Have you spoken to Brian?
No, I watched some of his videos. I haven't spoken to him yet. Yeah, he's definitely a creative guy. That's for sure.
Yeah, he's wrote a book of haikus, like solid Scientology haiku.
Oh, wow. I got to check that out.
Yeah.
I definitely have to check that out.
I feel like I am like visited by many geniuses and they give me very good ideas, but it's like on the premise that I will give it to the person who can do something with it. Like I am just I have the seeds of the ideas, dropped with me, and
that's what I feel like
too. Yeah,
I'm like, man, I have so many great ideas, but how am I going to execute
them to?
I remember wanting to do a comic book, and I wrote the script for one. And my buddy and I at the time, he drew it out and we submitted it to Image Comics, and we didn't even hear back. It was weird. We didn't hear anything back. So I think it really affected him more than it did me. We didn't do anything else after that. But it's like you got to get together your whole music band. You got to find an artist. You got to find a colorist. A letterer. These days, maybe one person can take on those three, but they're doing way more than the writer does.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's. I have a hard time doing that. I just want to do solo work, if possible. And anyway, that's one of my barriers to getting moving on my art.
Oh, do you know? Obviously, Tilty and Rika.
Oh yeah.
We have an accountability group, so the three of us will meet weekly and just say like, here's the stuff I need to get done, like please hold me accountable for this, please, like
that is really cool. I need that.
Yeah, so 3 is like the perfect amount, because if one person can't make it, there's still the two of you, so there's never that pressure, but you still have different opinions as well. Is great. And if you go in and if it's real big things, you can say, hey, I want to get this done by this day, or I'm going to donate £20 to this group of I really don't want to donate to.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I'm not going to ask you to say, but if you just think of one place where you're like, oh, I don't even like the thought of that, you're going to donate $20 there. If you don't,
that's funny. Yeah, that'll make you do it.
I put in the group chat, I need to floss, and I need to floss well. And I'm like, hey, my dentist has just shamed the soul out of me. So if you wouldn't mind mini shaming me if I don't, then it will.
Man, me too. Let me tell you, I have to be honest, since we're on the subject. I only speak for myself, but when I did do my research about schizophrenia and related things, you find out their hygiene is an issue. And man, that rang a bell for me ever since I was a kid. I have some funny stories, but embarrassing stories.
Yeah.
And it's like unfortunately though, but it's an indicator. I'm like, yeah, I need to, do these simple tasks, but I have this sensitivity issue. I have this uncomfort. It's fucked up. And it's just part of having that condition and overcoming it. You know, my wife helps me out. She's like, "Hey, did you do this? Did you do that?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, yeah." And
Yeah, I don't like being cold. I don't like being wet. If you're asking me to be
yeah.
both, it needs to be a very good reason. And yeah, hygiene, yep, that is a good reason. Got me there. But my hands, I wash my hands so much that
all the
they
time.
real
Me too.
sore. So it's not like, and then germs are gross. I don't even like eating. I don't like eating anywhere where I haven't seen how you wash your plates. And I know that sounds rich coming from me, but my plates are sparkly clean before they even go in the dishwasher. It's ridiculous.
Hey, it's all good though. It might have prevented you from being sick at one point. You'll never know.
Yeah, I'm allergic to quite a few antibiotics as well. So it's something that I've sort of been growing up being like, oh, you definitely have to try and not get ill and not get an infection. So I know what to do if an infection comes. I know how to whip up a quick turmeric poultice as well.
What is it?
Turmeric poultice. If you have an infection, you can put a turmeric poultice on it, and it will literally just pull the infection out.
Oh wow!
It's incredible.
Jeez.
I actually wrote down questions here. Shall I have a look?
That's cool. Yeah. I love questions.
I was gonna say, what you worked? Was it in Boston?
Yep.
Boston Scientology.
Yeah.
Was that the only one that you went to?
That's it. Yep. And it was on the one on Beacon Street. Not the one, not where it is now.
Not where Cub stays now.
Yeah, where it is now is a piece of shit compared to what we used to have. And the whole how we got rid of our building, and I saw all the regging to the innocent people, I should say. I shouldn't call them so much innocent, but to a degree they are. Of millions of dollars and thousands of dollars, just ripping these people apart. And they drilled and they regged, like, I'm trying to give a level of example. Like, dude, the earth's going to end. Your life's going to be miserable if you don't do this. But have that being shouted at you, or have that being like looked at you like you're on the edge of a cliff, you know? Take my hand now. We will, you know, like it's so serious. Like, you need to donate. We need to get this ideal org. And man, just people with the pressure would kick their ass. And they used ethics to get them to do it too. You know, like, you're being out ethics for not contributing, you know, and I'm saying a very light version. You know,
Yeah.
it just you really saw people's lives get messed up financially, and it was really sad. And
living in that state of flight or fright and stuff all the time as well, because they're trying to put you in a permanent state of emergency, and you feel that in your body.
Yeah, that's right. And yeah, there's so much psychological effects that it's created. It's a little hard for me to. There's a lot to digest. I mean, there's still so much there that I haven't even looked at. And that's okay with me. Someday I will. Or it'll fall off bit by bit. You know, I'm amazed how much it has fallen off, you know, and just coming to terms with, that's my cat. Just coming to terms with some of my reactions to certain thoughts. Hey, come here, kitty. No. No.
Mm.
So I'm kind of rambling right there, but
No, it's good to
yeah.
good to hear.
Let me see.
Yeah, there must be a lot to unpack, and then
Yeah,
trying
there
to
is. Yeah.
come to terms with that, water isn't the devil, and you should probably have a drink of that. And then, help hydrating your body and fixing everything up again, to then have to go back and filter out, any of the toxins left in. You've sort of
Yeah. And, being on medication has been a very good thing for me. Um, again, that was like forbidden. That's like taking the mark of the beast, If you
yeah.
take fucking any kind of psychiatric medication. So when I finally did, there were a few that I didn't like, but it was easily taken off. It was no like, you have to take it. you
Yeah.
know, it was just like, oh, okay. Yeah. It makes you feel, more serious. Okay. Or it makes you feel this way. Got it. You don't like it. All right. Well, let's try this.
Not like
And
you're letting humanity down. You're letting
yeah,
the
give me a
whole of
break.
humanity down.
And so I was like, okay, it's time for me to try it. And I've got the medications that work for me. And um, my wife definitely says so. And that's good for me. I mean, I feel fine. There's a little bit of a side effect. I'm not worried about it. It makes me a little tired. And I think that's about it, to be honest. Hey. Just makes me a little bit tired.
Yeah.
And that's fine compared to what else I could have,
I
you
mean,
know?
something that makes you a bit tired, you can sort of almost go, right, I'll take the tablet at this time, and then I'll just readjust my day to this. It's not like, oh, I feel like, you know, bleak. I feel hopeless. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So,
Right, right. And doing it at those people who do take medications, it's hard for me sometimes, but to take them at the same time every day. I've been off and on with my schedule sometimes, and it does throw me off a little bit. I've
oh,
heard plenty of people. Yeah.
I have a pill pot. So I have Monday, Monday,
Oh,
Tuesday, I have all
yeah.
the days in the pill pot, and then I set an
Right.
alarm on my phone, and then I can only
There
press
you go.
stop on the alarm when I've taken the tablets. Other than that, I just snooze for 10 minutes, and sometimes I'll be doing it for an hour until I get my
Just like
butt over there.
same here. Same
But
here.
it
My
works.
alarm goes off, and I'm like, yeah, I know. I wait 10 minutes to finish my video game or whatever. And I'm like, I'll forget. Here comes my wife. Hey, did you take your meds? I was like, oh shit.
Yeah. Something like
That's
these
one.
service dogs would be amazing. They just bring it up and put it in your
Oh, imagine that. Wow. They probably would. Probably do.
Yeah, no, they do exist.
Hmm. Let me think here. I'm going to step back from my picture here and just give an idea. Hmm. Let me see. Um.
Say hi to Bianca quick. Oh, and Lara. Hi, Bianca. Hi, Lara. Thank you both. Thank you,
Hey
Haggis,
guys.
for
Hey,
being here.
Lara.
Do you know Bianca? So, she's
I do
changed her
know
name.
Bianca. She's great. Hey. Hey, Bianca. It's good to
Fantastic.
see you.
Oh,
Advent calendar, was it? Yeah, an advent calendar. It's funny. So, what the medications do for me is, I think it's kind of good to talk about, because there might be people out there who are questioning it or have similar experiences. Whatever. It's a good topic to talk about. compared to like how evil they are and how it's going to destroy your life, um, it puts me at a more stable point. Like I have compulsions, and they're not crazy compulsions, but I'll have compulsions where, hey, I want to do this, and I just want to do it.
Yeah.
And um, again, nothing dangerous or crazy, but um, well, it could be financially dangerous, maybe a little,
Yeah,
but
I have dangerous compulsion. Like sometimes I'm
yeah.
in the car and I'm like, pull the door handle. I'm like, no, I don't do it, but the
Right.
compulsion's there.
Yeah. And so the medications have help dampen that. Like I don't have it kicking in all the time. And then I have medications for my ADHD and bipolar. So yeah, it's nice. They actually work. They actually work. I'll take the side effects compared to what else I'd have. Definitely.
Yeah.
And in the long run, I don't know. In the long run, I take it bit by bit. If I want to cut down at some point, I'll just tell my doctor. I'll tell my psychiatrist, and it's going to be simple as that. There's no real force going on, which is what they portrayed in Scientology. That psychiatry really forces things on you. That's the
Yeah.
image I got. Like you need a lobotomy. Like
Some of the
strap them
stuff we're
down.
seeing advertised, they've said like 10% of babies under 1 year old are on antidepressants. No,
I
it's not.
know, I know,
That's
dude.
just a lie.
Yeah, dude, they'll do whatever they can. And I've worked with those people. I've known some good people in Scientology. It's the funny part, and they all believed it like I did, but they would be so serious. I knew a guy who protested with CCHR, and man, they were gung ho. They thought they were saving the planet, dude.
Yeah.
It's like wow, the misinformation, it can really drive somebody.
Yeah, and when you say it like that, it just really hits home the thing of everything they're doing it because they think like we're both. Oh, what's that Spider-Man picture? And they're both pointing at each other. We're both like, I'm saving you. No, I'm saving you. And it's like, oh. Well, there's facts, science, and logic on our side at least, so we're all right.
hmm You mentioned Spider-Man. Are you a Marvel fan at all?
I do like Marvel. I do
Oh,
like
that's
DC.
awesome.
I wouldn't get in between the two. But yeah, no, I do like Marvel.
That's really cool. Yeah, I grew up on Marvel. I started collecting comics in 1988. And I was probably like 12 or 13. And then I just fell in love with them. I was getting comics all the way till like 91 or 92. And I think graduating high school, things changed and blah, blah, blah. But I had this amazing collection. And I don't have anything now just because I sold it. Impulsive. That's a good example of my impulsiveness.
Yeah.
I'll be like, oh, I have a Deadpool first appearance that's only worth $40. It's worth $40, and you think that's good.
Yeah.
And you go and sell it, but that was like 5 years ago or 10 years ago. Now it's worth 600, or more.
Yeah.
And you just like, I had so many good things. It's not funny, but
I
I'm not.
um,
I don't regret it as much as I lost them in a fire or something. I just like I did it to myself, and I learned from it. I guess it's just another example of what impulsiveness can do
yeah.
in my life.
I collect coins.
Oh
Coin
wow, my uncle
collecting.
does, and
Yeah.
he gave me some coins, and some years ago. And guess what? I sold them, and
No.
again, you think like, ooh, I want something. I want this from eBay. I know. I'll sell some coins. So one of them was this Russian coin with a ballerina, and it was worth like $400.
Wow.
And I was like so excited. I was like, oh, this is what I'm going to sell. And I sold it for $400 on eBay. And that was like 10 years ago or something. But yeah, the coins are really what I love about antique coins, whatever you call them, is holding that coin and just knowing like, wow, how many different people held this coin all
Yeah.
throughout history. The people who aren't here anymore, or the happy guy, the happy husband who comes home and has his wife and kids. There are good people out there.
Yeah.
And I just think of all these people who held it, and I think that's just fascinating.
Yeah. That's really cool. I think here we have like there's always different things printed on the coin. So if it's like a special year or something,
Oh yeah.
So the coins will literally sort of take you through history.
Yep.
I like that. I do like history. And I was thinking when you said it about bipolar and ADHD, I
Yeah.
just thought, I bet they sound like really good friends. Like I just imagine ADHD and bipolar being like the kids. Like you've agreed to have the boys over for the sleepover, and
For real,
they're
man.
having the best
I like
time.
that.
But
Yeah.
you just like, oh, they're going to get up to all sorts of
Yeah,
mischief.
exactly. Yeah. They
Whereas-
need supervision.
Yeah, ADHD and autism are like siblings that hate each other.
Oh no.
And then you are like the driver, and they're in the car, and they're just constantly fighting, and you're like, I just want to get where I'm going without crashing, please.
What I found out is from my own just experience is like we were saying before, how you can like pick up another person on the spectrum pretty easy. It's like this connection. And that's I studied that schizophrenia used to be how do I say it? Autism used to be under schizophrenia back in the day. Until more details were found out and more delineation could be done. But we get along great. Let me just tell you, like I love autistic people. Like they're like some of my favorite people. We get along so well. We
just
think a lot alike.
More. We need more neurospiciness together.
Yeah, man.
We'll get on great.
Yep. You get communities like this, and I think it's perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's good because it's not like a monolith. Like there's such a diverse spectrum of people in sort of the online anti-Scientology community, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just having fun tracing right now. I don't know exactly what I'm doing, but I really enjoy it.
Going over the line's really good, and then when you come to where it crosses over, you just round it off, so that's not a point anymore.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you mean.
That's the satisfying part. I'll show you on this again.
So you round off the points. Ah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where's that one I half done? Oh, get so many notepads out.
Hey, everybody, for being here. It's nice to have you here.
Yes, and I did say I'd be better looking at chat, and then just haven't been. Sorry, everyone.
So here's an example, right? I've got, where I got to point to it here. I've got this little point here, right? And so should I round it off Like kind of.
You can round it off very subtly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Right, where are we? So if we have point
Oh yeah, I get it. Yeah, that's
point
cool.
A meets point B. Is that,
Yeah, I
does that
just
show
rounded
more?
it off a little, you know.
Yeah, you do it
Yeah.
very subtly, so you can do it a very small amount, like that one. Do you see that one there?
Okay.
Or you
Yep.
can do it more obvious,
Well, it really pops when the colors go in. I
like that.
noticed with your paintings. Mm-hmm. Well, let's see. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, it
Yeah.
really pops when the colors come in. I've seen with your stuff when you round it
Yeah,
without having more black. It's nice. And let's see.
that's probably what this one's going to end up more.
Oh man, that's awesome. Phew.
Thank you.
Man, are those paints, right?
Yeah, this is watercolor paint.
Yeah. Wow. Wow.
I get like the cheap kiddie watercolor
It
paint as well.
reminds me of that. Reminds me of like a grapevine of thought. It's like a vine of grapes, but it's really just thought grapes.
Yeah, I like that. So good. This one, I don't know what I was doing, but I changed
Oh my god, yeah.
halfway
That's awesome.
through.
That is awesome. Wow.
But yeah,
There's definitely a communication there. I see it, but I put it into words, it's a little different.
yeah,
But I definitely see a communication in that one.
but yeah, I've got so many different styles, and then we've done say cats and dogs, and you can do portraits of people with this style over the top.
Mhm.
Oh, I think. Oh, this one here was so funny. This is when Tilty's camera just wasn't working at all. So I
That's
said,
amazing.
describe to me what you're drawing, and we'll try and draw the same thing. And this was absolutely nothing like this, but it's still fun to do.
It is amazing. I see all kinds of shit in that. I
Yeah.
see it's amazing.
No, I really like it. It's very playful. It just wasn't right.
Yeah, there's a ton of stuff in that. Wow, abstract art, that's what you call it, right?
Yeah, we were improvising because the cameras weren't working and we just needed to do something.
It's pretty awesome.
Hello,
Wow,
everyone.
that's inspiring, actually. Um, I don't know if you're comfortable or not doing this or whatever, but I was always admired when I saw all of those paintings on your walls, and I found that to be like, wow, that is so cool.
Thank
I don't know if you're into showing the, people that or not, or because if someone told me, "Hey, go show your bedroom walls," I'd be like, "Nah, no thanks."
you in here. Like it's no bother. But the dogs have just come in here as well to
Oh, cool.
roll around. I would assume they were making a ruckus, and my daughter was like, "Nope, didn't sign up for this." How can I? There we go.
Oh, look at that! Come on, this is amazing.
That's Rika's.
This is
Rika
absolutely
sent me
amazing.
this one.
Wow.
This one's had a bash. That's a
Wow.
duck. That's a little ducky.
Wow.
And we've got the AEIOU because I heard that's something, that's a TR that's done where they'll just say AEIOU.
I never heard that, but that's funny. It's probably in some auditor training.
Yeah. And when I heard it, and then Keith was outside, was it Ohio? And he was saying it, and some people are like smiling and waving to him, some of the Scientologists. It
Oh
was
man.
so funny. AEIOU. And then this one, this says, "Not your scapegoat." And it's a unicorn busting out of a goat.
Oh, nice.
And that's the neurographic style as well.
It's fantastic. And
This
then what
one
do you
was,
use? Do you use like I see you frame them just in nice simple frames?
Yeah, this is just a
Yep.
cheap frame. This
Yeah,
was me trying the like the plexi. It's not like glass. It's like fake glass.
Okay, plexi.
Plexi, yeah. But as you can see,
Yeah.
it's not holding the pictures in there. So I'm having to take a few down and reassess where things are going. So I've got some down at the minute. It's my art
Oh
heals.
my God, are you kidding me? You did that? That's incredible. Holy, wow. Wow. Can you do a close-up on that? That is like 3D.
Do you know I made this with newspaper and toilet roll tubes?
Wow, come on.
So I just got newspaper, I cut out a heart and then I ripped it up and then spread it out. And then I drew around those pieces and then did that on another piece of newspaper, laid that over, and then got a toilet roll tube. Here, I have one here, like this.
Yep.
And then I just pinched it so it looked like a heart.
Yep.
And I
Oh,
dipped
okay.
that in paint and I dipped all hearts everywhere.
Oh my God.
So have this one.
Yeah, I can see that now. That's so cool.
I did it on the back of this one.
What does that say? Become?
Reconnect.
Reconnect. Nice. Nice. Wow.
And then love understands.
You know what? Reconnect is a really good word. I would almost have a sign for that at a protest, just because it would be something that would it's something that would be heartfelt. Like I would like to hold it because it'd be like a communication. I'd like to tell people like reconnect. You know, it's the opposite. It's the opposite, yeah, from disconnect, obviously.
Yeah.
What'd you say though?
I did that when just before DOA crashed his van and he sort of didn't know what he was going to do. It was just after the encampment.
Yeah.
And he didn't know what to do. And I was that just is what.
Oh man.
I don't know. I thought, but so yeah, I did that inspired by him. I did this
That's really
inspired
nice.
by Lara at the same time.
That's amazing.
Love understands.
Yeah, they're both great. Wow. Seriously, you got some awesome talent, man. You are good.
Can't really see this. This is the pink elephant. So Balázs, who was Aaron Hubcol, he's from Hungary, but he lives in Denmark, and he was in Scientology there.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's like telling you to see the pink elephant. They're making you. That's not. I haven't got the sunlight for it to work. But yeah, we've got the awesome Lara, of course.
Oh, let's see. Oh yeah, yep, I love it.
And then yeah, I'm going to be redoing. Oh, Samuel SP Chef.
Oh yeah.
Good one. The Pokeball for this ferret.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then fully embrace your freedom, and that was inspired by Kelly from Sacramento.
Okay. Very nice.
And let kids be kids. This is what one of my friend's children over here said. That Scientology need to hear. Let kids be kids.
No kidding. No, that won't happen.
Yeah, we're good. We're trying.
Yes.
Oh, and then Foxy. So this is neurographic art.
Oh yeah.
Gucci.
That's cool. It's funny. The right colors really do communicate. You know, the right colors to things. I'm looking at the colors you used, and it really communicates.
Oh, thank you. Sorry if that was lengthier.
No, I think everyone must have enjoyed that. It's good. It's good.
Okay, I was going to ask.
Ooh, another question.
What would you say? I don't want it to be too intrusive, but I also want.
If it is, I'll say something.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
What would you say to the indoctrinated you, and what do you think you would have needed to hear? Because I think they're different things.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So do I know that it's me? Like, oh my God, that's me talking to me. It's like, do I
Uh,
see another body? Do I see like another
so
person who's me?
what would you say? So this is like you being able to like have a moment of popping
Right.
into your own head and being like, this is sort of the score.
Right.
And then the other one is sort of like, what did you need to hear? Like, because you might have wanted to
Yeah.
tell yourself, hey, look out for this or this, but you might have needed to hear, hey,
Yep.
like I care about you, or you're actually, really missed, or
Mm. I'm thinking like insight or advice. Like, but knowing it's true, you know how you can hear shit, even when you're indoctrinated, it doesn't mean anything, but um, knowing that I could penetrate through to my reasoning or whatever. Uh, I have to think about it, but what comes to mind is, believe it or not, just because I'm a spiritual guy, and I think it's very downplayed, is Hubbard's history in the dark arts and actually understanding like how serious he was about it. He didn't dabble with it. He wasn't like demons, give me a break. Well, I'm just gonna play around with it. No, he was fucking serious. And when Aleister Crowley died, Hubbard believed that he was going to be the next what do you call it? The next beast, the next
yeah.
Antichrist, whatever. It's like, what the fuck? Yeah, but that's what he believed. He was pretty schizophrenic too. I don't know what label you want to give him, but he believed in a lot of delusions. And um, that's what comes to mind. Like if I knew that truth, but actually like it penetrated and I knew it, I think that would make a difference. Because I went in there thinking I was going to work for a church and I was going to be holy and shit. And I was being gullible, and that would have made a difference to me. I don't know if it'd make a difference for anybody else though.
Yeah, no, I was just curious about you.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's that
No, I
would have
do
done
think
something.
that's a massive point, and I do think like if the rules have changed on how we're going to sort of try and address all of the abuse that's going on, if it's not going to be sort of worth pursuing taking away their tax exempt status because of who's sort of calling the shots, within the government there, then it might be worth just sort of spreading the message to people who maybe care about, Jesus being called a pedophile.
Oh, exactly. I mean,
like, hey.
if I ever protested in the right place, I might even I might even go to the local church nearby and say, "Hey, man, I'm going to be protesting there. This is what they're about. And you guys want to join?" And we could just be like shouting out quotes, and freaking demonizing them how they should be, exposing them, and that would be a blast. That would be a blast.
No, I think so, because they're just lying when they say anybody can come in. It doesn't matter what religion you are.
Oh no, I was a sucker for that. I was a complete sucker for that. And then they even give you knowledge of how that's true. Well, see, you're just a spiritual being, and you know, da 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 da, and they ease you into it, and then there's a point of no return at some point. But yeah, I was a sucker for it. I've seen other people suckered for that too.
It sounds reasonable. It sounds so
It does.
reasonable.
It does. It does. And that's how they get you. They have a very, very tasty cake as bait, and you just want it. You want a piece of that because it smells good. It looks good. All that, and you dive in, and you get love bombed. You get accepted until, for me, it was until I was on staff.
Mm.
Once I was on staff and you had to do statistics and all that shit, it became military, became like really just fucked up, and became, you saw its true insides. You know, it was wild, wild.
Yeah, and you've already signed it. You've already think like, oh, I'm completely indebted to this, and
Oh, no
then they
shit.
get you
Yeah.
on the
Good
courses,
point.
and then
Oh,
oh,
that's a
we're
really
gonna get
good
a
point.
freeload of debt if you don't do this, if you don't do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's disgusting. This is what really upsets me. Like,
Yeah.
Rika got somebody out in Portland, and some people like,
Ooh.
oh, he hardly was going in, and he looked homeless. And it says, yeah, why does it matter if he doesn't have a house at the minute? He's been going in. They are trying to talk him into, the Purif, and don't worry, after the Purif, he would have been on staff. He would have been sucked in.
Yeah.
His life would have been gone. Like, how do you not care? Like, how?
That's kind of how they got me, actually. To be honest with you, well, it had to do with the Purif too. I was in the beginning part, and the Purif bullshit, and then they read you. I'm sorry, I cut you off though. That was a good story.
No, he got out. Rika, paid for rehab, got him then home to his closest family, got him a train ticket, and made sure he was absolutely fine and taken care of. And she met him going into Scientology.
Unbelievable! Wow,
they kept calling him
great.
after.
Wow, they'll hunt you down. You know, I remember when the whole golden age of knowledge came out and the stupid fucking books. Dude, we would go to people's houses at like 11 at night, knocking on their door with like a crew of 4 people just to fucking convince them to buy these books.
Yeah.
And it's crazy, man. We upset so many people. And to like be at their door and they're looking at us like, what the fuck, man? Like
do you know what time it is?
And some of these people weren't even in Scientology for like 20 years. I remember one lady who didn't do any services or nothing for like 20 plus years. And we dug her name up and we're like, oh, we have to go. Oh, it was horrible.
They keep you in that mindset of desperation. Now, go, emergency.
Yeah, all the time. And you felt it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you felt it. And pretty wild. But I will say this, because, I think no matter what situation we're in, we're going to find some light in it. We're going to try to make the best of whatever we have. And so I lived in Boston and it was beautiful. I was quite fortunate to be there. I think a lot of good experiences. And like the environment is cool. I went to Harvard Square, which was awesome. I was right by MIT. I'd walk by MIT all the time.
Nice.
And yeah, we had like a rent-controlled apartment that a bunch of Scientologists lived in. And we're all crowded together in this one little apartment. But it worked. We paid less rent and I get to live in my early 20s in Boston.
Did you pay less rent because it had been like fundraised by members of the quote unquote church and then brought by the church?
They'll never do that. They will never pay for you at a charity. Not that I've ever seen, and they're kind of against that from what I understand. Because
I didn't know if they owned the property and then just rented it to you. No.
That would be smart. Smart, but no. And it came into trouble where rent control went away. And luckily I wasn't there. And, a bunch of people scrambled to go find where the hell they're going to go. But, yeah.
So yeah, you definitely managed to squeeze some lemons to get a bit of lemonade out of that situation.
Right.
That's amazing. I'll just have a quick look. Hello. Hi, April, if I didn't say hi to you, and The Journey. I hope you're both well. Thank you for being here. The Holy Rogue is with me today.
Yeah, this is great. I'm having a lot of fun. It's
Good
nice to
to
talk to. It's nice to talk to people too.
Yeah.
In the same wave.
I was going to ask if you wouldn't mind talking about it. Your spiritual journey that's sort of got you to today. If you'd like to skim over whatever.
Yeah, sure. That sounds fun. So, I've been into spiritual journey since I was probably like 14. You know, I started reading philosophy books. I had that real inkling of like, I know there's something going on, and it could just be my neurodiversity, or it felt like I was perceiving something spiritual, and it was like a feeling, and so I wanted to read about it, and I'd buy stuff like I didn't know what to read, but I'd go to a bookstore and read stuff on synchronicity, and read stuff on what's his name, Carl Jung,
Yeah.
and trying to figure out stuff, and then Scientology got a hold of me, blah blah blah, and afterwards, I was a Scientologist when I moved away, just in mind because of programming. But I was like, you know what? I'm away. I don't. I can look at the internet now, and I did. Now this is around the same time I met my wife in 2012, and she showed an incredible, true, incredible faith in Jesus and God. And when I say like true, I mean like she didn't preach the Bible at all, which I don't mind the Bible at some points. I think it's just a lot of it's up to interpretation. But um, she just showed by example, like her actions. Like she would pray, but with like her full heart, and she would give and help people. I loved it. I was like, that's amazing. And I go, wow, that's a good spirituality. I like that.
Yeah.
It's calm, it's calm, it's peaceful. It's also personal. And that's what I need. It helps my mind out a lot, and um, I had a thought there. um,
I feel like what I've got from what you've just said is your wife's like really grounding and balancing.
oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Um,
Yeah.
and so what I said to myself was, you know what? I want to know about this. So I'm going to look at it myself. Like if I'm into something, I'm going to find out about it. That's the hyper focus, which is a good thing sometimes. And like she told me about Jesus and everything, and I've heard it all before. I didn't really necessarily believe in it, but seeing her act the way she does, and I said, all right, well, let me try to understand it. And there was a mechanic about Jesus, like I didn't really understand. Like, how many times have you heard this? Um, Jesus saves, he died for your sins. Like, okay, got it. But what the fuck does that mean? Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't make any sense to me. But, I figured out the mechanic of that. And I don't want to make this into a preaching show.
No.
Mhm. Okay. Well, the mechanic I found was it's not a big mystery, but it's not taught in detail. Is in the Old Testament, was a whole different time. And you have a rule that the creator made, that the programmer made, just call it a programmer, that said, okay, if you want to be washed of these sins, which affect your soul, which affect you, and you have to get rid of something that is valuable to you, such as unblemished lamb or what have you. And it shows that you're thankful for this life, and life is nothing without the Lord. Like, I'm grateful for this lamb you've given me here. I'll get rid of it in order to, you know, feel cleaned, I guess, something like that. So, um, seeing how Jesus is referred to as the unblemished lamb, or the Lamb of God, I finally connected it. I was like, that's how it worked. That's how his death affects us all. It's because God is applying his own rules to himself in the New Testament. He's saying, I'm going to sacrifice my best lamb to cleanse the sin of all because of his love. His is his creation. And it clicked. I was like, damn, man, that made a lot of sense to me. And I can see creation a lot easier than, Big Bang. And I can see both. But I just see creation more realistic, believe it or not. And it led me into praying. It led me into kind of saying hi to God and using my own skills or my own communications with it. And I felt received. Again, is that my condition or not? It's a struggle I had. One of the reasons the struggle has kind of stopped is because how many people feel like I do. But how many people actually have a genuine, sincere, like in-depth experience or faith? There's still a lot of people. I don't mean the cookie cutters. I'm really far from a cookie cutter Christian, really far. I think that's just indoctrination. It's just robotic. They don't teach you things or talk about things that should be talked about. They just tell you the same old shit, And like some of the cool stuff was like the Nephilim, the giants that existed. And some people are like, oh, giants never existed. Well, they actually did. And it is mentioned in the scriptures. They never talk about that, ever. They never talk about how God, there are references of how God does control evil. And knowing that and how and why, it's actually pretty useful to know. It just makes more sense. And these are things that will never be taught. And that kind of insight and that kind of philosophy, I don't know, I find it very comforting. I find it works for me. It works for me. Other people are going to be in other paths, and that's totally cool with me. Like, I have zero contempt or whatever bullshit that people have if they're not the same faith. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I hate that shit.
Yeah, no, I don't understand in if you prefer chocolate ice cream over strawberry ice cream,
No shit.
go for chocolate,
Yeah, for
but
real.
scream at someone else for liking strawberry. That's
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And yeah, I'm not here to be like, oh, look at me, I'm Christian. No, I don't even like that word anymore. Only because it's so tainted to me. But I'm just being myself. I'm just being my spiritual self. And that's the path I'm on right now. It works for me. And yeah, there's all kinds of crazy stuff in there too. Like, especially for my kind of mind, where you get into some crazy theories. Like spaceships actually were mentioned in the Old Testament, and you can find it like very easy. I think it's in the book of shit. It's in it's one of these Old Testament books where one of the prophets are looking at something in the sky, and it says it's wheels within wheels, and there's eyes all throughout the wheel, and how it was levitating into the clouds and coming down. And he called it a chariot, a chariot. 'Cause that's all they know. Like, if you saw something back then, you're not gonna say, "Oh, it's a flying saucer." It's a fucking, all they know is vehicles are chariots. They don't know anything more advanced. And that's one way I look at it.
That was a DC-8, that.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a fucking UFO or something. That was like, and it goes into more detail. Like, someone was driving it, it had 4 faces on it, really trippy shit. And I just see this guy, this fucking poor prophet, is going like, "What the fuck am I looking at?" And he was trying to write it down or whatever. And yeah, I think the extraterrestrial, what do you want to call it, has existed for a very long time, does play a big part. I think a lot of weird stuff, though, I won't get into.
Yeah, I just don't know anything. Like, I think it's cool that you have that sort of comfort and that feeling that you've come to where you are in life. I think that's amazing. I'm like, I don't know if there's aliens. There might be, there might not be. I wouldn't blame them for coming here. Like, have you had a look around? Have you watched the news?
Yeah.
Because if they're just hooking into the news, they might go, actually, we'll give this planet a miss. Seems pretty hostile.
Yeah, for real. Right. For real. I've had theories where it's being in the spiritual walk I'm on right now, you have theories that the aliens that we've supposedly seen, what have you, are actually fallen angels, and that there's an alien deception that is on its way, where, oh, they're your friends, join them, but in fact they're the fallen angels. And that's just theory, that's just food for thought. I can't say I believe that, but it's something that's like, I could see how that is. And I think they live underwater, maybe. I could see their ships being underwater in the depths.
Yeah.
Where I can't see them being so far away. I just can't. I just can't. It's hard for me to imagine light years away on another planet coming here. It's very hard for me to imagine. Why? I don't know. Just doesn't seem probable. But I can see them with advanced technology like they had in the past, I think. And being underwater. Weird thoughts.
No, I think that my soul was meant for a tree and just
that's cool.
got into a human body. So no, don't worry.
I like it.
Oh, we've got a Selfless Self here and Brad as well.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Everyone else in the chat. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Selfless, it was nice to hear you the other day. I love to hear your open thoughts and feelings. I'm definitely receptive to it. So you got a fan, okay?
Yeah, I'm glad, because this question's going to you then. What does physical distance matter if you can fold space?
It would be like having an original copy of something versus like a copy of a copy. Like, no, this came from real distance. Like, it was really walked to here. Instead of saying like, oh, we just folded time and we got here. I'm just kind of making light of it. But if it was that serious, like can you fold space? Is space tangible? Sure, the things in space can be like air, wind, whatever. But space itself, is it actually tangible? Like, how can you fold something that's not tangible? That, to me, is a question that I think of.
In like the fourth dimension, I'm saying stuff that I've probably just heard and I can't explain it. Like,
that's cool. I love talking that kind of stuff. I love talking it.
I got excited.
It's cool.
I don't know what I'm speaking about.
That's awesome. That's That's the way to talk. Just so you're saying in the fourth dimension, like in the spiritual.
No, someone tried to do like a YouTube video to actually explain the fourth dimension, and it.
I never got
into
it because I just didn't. I didn't get it enough. I was just like, I probably could get it, but I just never delved into that. I don't know why.
So instead of like A to B, it seemed like everything was a network.
Yeah, I can see that, but the way I look at it, so from California to Florida is a distance, and if you could fold that space and make it into just a couple of seconds, that's a cool concept. I can see how that is, designed. I just don't see space itself being folded. Like I see objects in space, but I don't see space itself as a fundamental. Take everything out of space and you have just emptiness. And that's still a thing. Emptiness is still a thing. Like space is a thing, I think. Space takes up space, right? But I just don't see it being folded unless you go with one of their theories. And it is a theory of like, what do they call it? Black mass or
there's
what's it
dark
called?
matter and light matter, and there's like the opposites, super dark.
Yeah. I just don't, I can see you bending those things, but like they do with the camouflage, like Predator and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can bend the light and manipulate things. I just don't, it's hard for me to conceive of time being folded. I mean, space being folded. However, that would be cool as hell. It would be cool to give us a lot. One way to do it, which we're doing it synthetically, but it's still effective, is the baby steps of what we're doing right now with electronics. Wait till we have chat rooms that are just holographic and we're all just mingling in the same room with our hologram.
Get claustrophobic still.
Yeah, that's true.
Can we troubleshoot claustrophobia before we get me into that graphic route? Really? I'm like, really?
You get to have your own environment. You get to make it a field of mountains and flowers or whatever. You can do whatever you want. And you can have as much space as you want. It doesn't have to be, like a white room. It'll be your wallpaper, so to speak, but it'll be your environment.
Yeah.
Futuristic ideas, whatever.
We've got here. Brad said the physical world is only a small part of reality, which I agree.
Yeah.
And you said once you can control gravity, interstellar travel is easy. That's way past my understanding. Sorry, Brad, but it sounds fantastic.
Yeah, that's right. Gravity, they say that he must know the name. Tyson was saying it, whatever, Neil deGrasse Tyson, he was mentioning this thing about gravity. And you're looking for something tangible. Like they still don't have something very tangible regarding gravity. And they talked about this theory of, I want to say black mass, but.
Yeah, I think I've heard it. I do watch his Space Talk.
Yeah. I've heard him say it, and I'm like, okay, they're trying to find something more concrete. Like, is there something that we're not seeing that is moving and like stirring things up? Yeah, probably, right?
Infrared. Like if we're not wearing something infrared or pointing something infrared at it, like this, and that's just something. There's all the known unknowns, and then there's the unknown unknowns. And who can even begin to like?
Oh, no kidding.
But just don't take your job too seriously because you're probably not. The likelihood of you getting anywhere. Like one of the best things you can do in science or physics is write a wrong theory and then that sounds really good and then disprove it yourself before anyone else can.
Yeah, that sounds great. You know what? But that is, to me, it feels like it's getting less. People love jumping on a theory and just going with it. It seems there's so many theories out there that aren't proven yet, but are still taken as like truth. But I wish there would be more scientific method out there. Like, okay, let's measure it. Let's go and see if this is actually accurate. There's a lot of theories.
But even I can't remember what it is, but there was something where they were doing the tests on it and it was behaving the same way in all the tests. Brilliant. That's what you wanted, results. And then as soon as someone stopped observing it, it started acting differently. I think instead of going through, it would like, and I can't remember the exact thing. I didn't know we were talking about this. I've got no preparation or notes. But yeah, that's the thing. How are you going to say this is 100% accurate when we know certain things in the universe, random molecules in the exact same conditions that have done the exact same result every single time, for some reason acts differently when a human isn't watching? Why? Insane.
It is really strange. It is strange.
All I know is I know nothing, and if I had,
same here.
I really like spirituality. I found like The Secret and that sort of stuff quite toxic for me. It's the same.
What do you mean? What do you mean by? What do you mean?
It's same in Scientology. Sorry,
you said spirituality, and then you mentioned toxic. What do you mean?
Yeah, The Secret. Have you ever watched The Secret?
I've heard of it. I've never watched it. No.
So yeah, it's got some toxic traits in there, like you have to manifest this, and if you haven't, if something bad happens, you manifested it, and it just sounds like the whole you pulled it in. And when you're a teenager and you're trying to manifest the job of your dreams, and you get sexually assaulted, and you start thinking, "What did I do wrong? How did this is on my vision board?" Like, it's not a good or healthy place to be. I don't think.
No, it's not. No way. No way.
But now I've sort of I love philosophy. I love psychology. I love
stuff. Oh yeah. You know what I love too is I started looking at it is sociology.
Yes, yeah.
That's fascinating. How groups evolve and think as a unit, as an organism. I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
To be able to see it from a distance, and people don't even know how they're acting in a group. Like, they don't even know they're part of this organism. I never know I am. I know I'm part of some group organism, but what's my part in it? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's fascinating.
Oh yeah, sorry. So yeah, spirituality wise, I think I most like the thought of and like the writings of and the teaching of Taoism.
Oh yeah. I was getting into that before Scientology, and I like it too. It's got these little like packets of wisdom. It's got these it's got these small, concise wisdom, and I like that.
I just like the idea of, just trying to go with things, but, I wouldn't, I could say go with the flow, be like the river, don't resist, don't fight. But then it comes to something that I'm passionate about. If it comes up against an injustice, if it comes up against someone being abused, I ain't flowing like the river. I'm being a rock. I'm being a sharp rock.
Well, one way I just looked at it was it's your river. It's not their river. So when he says it flow like a river, just understand it's your river. So if you have a passion, like, your water is flowing, like your becomes the avalanche of water, or that's one way to look at it. Like, you don't have to not be a river anymore.
Yeah.
But whatever. I'm just rambling.
No, I was thinking I could have like a raging undercurrent.
Like I said to somebody at work, she has a similar condition that I do, and she said, now I forget. Hold on. Don't you hate that when you're about to say something and you miss the punchline?
Yeah.
Let me see. She was upset because she reacts certain ways, or her partner has to tolerate her and everything, and people help her, with her condition sometimes, and she says like, "Oh, I hate causing those problems. Like I'm just like this waterfall who like can't control itself." And I said, "Well, understand that there's rocks in front of the waterfall who are helping to keep at bay, and that those rocks are your friends, family. They know what you have. They know that you're flowing water, and they're there to help control you. And sometimes we have to look at those things. Yes, I have problems. And acknowledging those problems. Mental health awareness is awesome. I'm so happy about the mental health awareness that's been going on these past couple decades or decade. It's been phenomenal for me and for others. Like, working, I work with people on the spectrum. I love it. And they get no shit. Most of the time, really, they don't. And I just love it. Mental health awareness is here. And it's not going to go anywhere, I hope. And just wonderful thing. It's a wonderful thing. Because,
as long
again,
as the facts are out there and people aren't being scared of the actual solution, then
Yep. Growing up, I never knew what I had. Imagine being 46 years old and finding out what you have. And not light either. Like, oh, you got schizophrenia, dude. You got you got schizoaffective bipolar. And you're like, holy fuck, But it answered a lot of questions, that for sure. The right diagnosis, from what I understand. And it's a bit of a shocker, though. What it can do to your life. You're like, oh my God, but it answered so many questions.
Yeah.
I'm just rambling.
No, you're not. I'm asking questions and you're answering them really well.
Okay.
And expanding. And thank you. I will add in some more knowledge from Selfless. We got Brad as well.
Oh, cool.
They are looking for an elementary particle that bows gravity. So the gravitation. Gravity is a property of space being bent by mass.
So they're looking for a particle that is like underneath gravity, like it is the fundamental of gravity.
And Brad said quantum entanglement, which sounds like Will Smith's next movie.
I like it.
That's an old joke. That's a bit outdated maybe, but made me chuckle.
No, it's pretty funny. It's fascinating. It is. It's fascinating. And I don't know shit, and when I look at the technology today, I can't quote who said it, but anybody who's into the electronics today, it's growing at such a massive rate. Its growth, it's like every I can't quote it now because I forgot the time, but it was like every so often, like after a month or 2 months, it like doubles in progression. Like we're at the point where technological what's the word, growth is moving at such a fast pace right now. It's not like in the 80s where, oh, I got a speak and spell, and years later, oh, here comes a Nintendo. No, this is like really fast, and I don't really. Are you okay with me talking about a little politics or no?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, okay. I just wanted to mention, like, I'm an independent. I always just look at who's running, and I have my own conspiracy theories on the government. Only because we're always guided. Like, I just see like two arms of the same head. Like, I see the left wing and the right wing and whatever being controlled because we're always being guided to where they want. And it feels that way. Like, some of these problems we have could so easily be solved. It's not even funny, but they're not because of the strict guidelines they have and the way they control it. That's whatever. So, my point, what was my point? Oh, yeah. With this technology, Elon Musk is there for a reason. Elon Musk is there. He actually wrote after the election, he wrote a Twitter, whatever, X, that he says, and the prophecy unravels. That's what he wrote, something like that. And the prophecy unravels, which is a very revelation type of thing to say. Because in Revelation is the mark of the beast, which is you're either going to get something, the mark of the beast, in your right hand or forehead. And you cannot buy, trade, or sell without it, whether you're rich or poor, no matter where you're from. That's in Revelation in the end times. And it does fit. Just saying, it does fit this whole thing with AI. People already getting chips in their right hand. You can see videos of it in Sweden and other places. And Elon Musk has the chip for the forehead or wherever he plugs it in. It's called Neuralink.
Yeah,
Neuralink.
you know what? I know what you're talking about because it was something I was looking into years ago when I first got diagnosed with the trigeminal neuralgia, and I thought, is this something that could prevent the nerve pain? Hello?
Yep. I'm
Oh,
here.
there you are.
Yeah, it very well could help, and I think miracles will happen with AI and those devices. However, to those who are, are led by revelation or whatever, you're going to see a lot of people not take it.
Oh yeah, because like I feel like just logic dictates don't let Elon put stuff inside of you.
No
like
kidding,
there's
right?
a line of women who show that that's not a good idea.
But can I say this though, right? That's logical, very logical to say. But what's going to happen when, here's a couple of factors. It could be one, as hot as the new iPhone, whenever the iPhone was first released, like, I gotta have it. Like, you can drive your car without keys, you can open doors without locks and keys. You can pay for things without a wallet, just your freaking hand. You can walk around and just spandex, be a superhero and not have to carry anything, but still provide for yourself. People are gonna love that. People are gonna love the fact, especially, it's fine for people who are, but people who are not spiritual. I'd be like, hell yeah, And then on top of that, what if we're in a situation where that's the only choice we have? Like World War III happens, or some shit happens, and
I feel like people will revolt for a lot of it, and I feel like if you start making it mandatory, like with like vaccines, I feel like if someone like Elon, who literally can't invent anything, he's never invented anything for any of the companies, he's just swooped in and brought it, except PayPal, which he didn't invent, he just had the idea, maybe, with his daddy's Embroil money. But I think anyone who was going to let Elon Musk put something inside the head,
no kidding, right?
Would have to think about it. And I feel like if they tried to make people would revolt and they would go very much what is it? Les Miserables. French Revolution. I think it'd be very French Revolution style. Maybe Amsterdam. They really went for I think they actually gobbled up their
So how about this though? No, you're right. I love to philosophize, and that's what we're doing. I think it's great. So what if that's the only way you can feed yourself and the ones you love?
I feel like they're going to invite him to Texas, and I feel like they're going to spit roast him. I feel like they're going to hog roast Elon Musk. I feel like they're going to cook him. I feel like Texas is going to be like, we're going to hold a raffle. Who gets a leg? Who gets an arm? I feel like things could get very, very dark. Don't mess with
It's a scary thought, but I have a feeling. I don't, that majority of people are going to want it, or maybe at least half, or it's going to be mandatory. Some fucked up shit. Like it's coming down the line. AI in China, there's cameras everywhere. They have a social credit score. So if you jaywalked, I'm not kidding either. If you cross the
Yeah, no,
street,
I know.
if you cross the street without a crosswalk, they will put your face on their Times Square thing. They recorded your face already.
Yeah, they're already
And
doing all of the stuff that that
they
I'd
are.
be, you know, I didn't like people watching me 24/7, but if people are watching me 24/7, then I hope you're watching all of the politicians 24/7. So I hope when it comes to us auditing, you know, someone as a government worker, then you can go, no, we have all the records. We can demand the records because everything's out in the open. They're already doing it.
Yeah.
But
It's true.
I'm not a secretive person. I'm like, let's go, bet.
Yeah, same here. Same here.
Against
I
you.
got nothing. I got nothing to hide. You know, I'm like whatever.
Yeah, not you, obviously, but it'd be like your wife. She's not gonna go to church trying to pretend to be the best Christian because
exactly.
you've seen in her heart she is one of the best that you've seen.
Yeah,
so,
right. That's a good point.
I feel like all these people, if you want to go on like you're holier than thou, or you're the best of the best, you're the ethical, and you should be running the country. Come on, let's show it. We'll all be in the Big Brother show. We'll all be in the Truman show. But no, you not are above us. So I feel like they're going to have to be open. It's going to be very hard to do that. The only thing that's making it easier is a lack of fact checkers. But that isn't going to last ages because it's the youth. You think you're going to outsmart the youth, and there's new ones being born every year. And then the fact that people aren't having children, the birth rate's plummeting everywhere. So we're going to be relying on them. It's the youth who are going to have to take the brunt of all of it and carry like our generations on their shoulders. And do you think they're not going to look at the books and the history and go, actually, no?
Right.
I don't know.
The youth is just that simple analogy. They're the new trees. And how do we fertilize them? How do we grow them? And they grow up to be what we feed them. And it's not easy.
They're looking around the orchard and going, these are not good. There's something wrong with the ground. There's something wrong with the nutrients. And I think they're figuring out how to transplant and splice and do all this stuff. And they're telling us about it because they're leaving us to argue amongst ourselves, thinking, you know, does 80s, 90s, 70s have the best music? Like just.
Hey, I'll be right back, okay?
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Sorry if I've gone on the right tangent. I don't speak politics and stuff normally. For this reason, my gob runs away with me, and I am a squirrel of very little intelligence, a brain of very few cells. Do not judge me, for I know what I do. Educate me. If I'm saying stuff that's wrong or speaking out of my butt, please do educate me, because I don't want to sound like an idiot. I don't want to be, you know, a lot of this is my opinion. And my hopes. Well, I don't hope anyone eats their prime minister, but I'm just saying people have done.
All right. Okay, let's see. Yeah, it's cool. I feel like I'm doing like a stained glass
window. Yeah.
It kind of feels like it. It's nice. It's good exercise. It is good to do this while talking as well. I like it.
If you can get yourself some tracing paper as well.
Yep.
You can get like a. You know, you can sort of cast photos onto your TV.
No, I have no idea. What do you mean?
So if you go on like your photos in your gallery, you can cast a picture from your phone onto like the TV or something.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So if you wanted like a picture of like a barn or stables or a church or like a certain monument, you just get that picture on, trace it out, and then do this over, but then stay true to the actual colours. So it just looks like a stained glass version of the picture.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Right. Yeah.
I'll have to work on that. I like it.
So it's such a versatile art style, but it's very therapeutic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, so what other questions you have? You must.
Yeah. I was going to ask, what has been the biggest help and the biggest obstacles since leaving Scientology?
By far, my biggest help is my wife. I mean, by far.
We can't all have an amazing wife, though.
I
No, I'm
know.
joking.
I know. Jeez. Really, where would I be without her? I don't know. But what has been? You said like what has been the biggest help
Yeah,
aside from my wife? I would say family. Again, not all of us have family either, though. Um,
yeah,
really having, I have a caring family, and I'm very, very fortunate for that. Very fortunate, and I couldn't imagine not having that. And I know there's people who suffer, even who's listening, possibly, who just do not have that family connection. And I just saying it with empathy because I mentioned these things. I don't want to trigger anybody, but um, also my faith has helped me a lot because um, I felt like I could see more truth of good and evil. Like understanding the evil of Scientology and everything. Um, and I don't know. Am I answering the questions?
yeah. No,
All right.
brilliantly, brilliantly.
And let's see. What hasn't helped me?
Yeah, I was
Um,
gonna. The next was what has been like the biggest obstacles, or yeah,
mm,
haven't
let me
helped.
let me see. What has been the business? Um, would you say like obstacle in life, like just in general? Like, what's
Just
your?
since leaving, like
Okay.
it
I
could be
would.
anything.
Well, I see a lot of improved. So much has improved. Just getting out of that murky water, into some fresh water. Like everything improves. And um, I say one of the negative aspects was lost touch with my friends. I had some really good friends on staff, and
Yeah.
you know, good people there. Honestly, most of them just suckered like me. And I'd say that was the worst part because we had some great laughs, and good times all throughout my 20s and all throughout my 20s. I was on staff from 20 to 30. And,
They're like sociable years as well.
oh man, I know those are important years. You know, but it didn't help. Oh, it did not help me in my career because I was sweating about a career when I joined staff. My dad's on my case a little, and I'm like, shit, I don't know what to do. I'm aimless anyway, so I'm like, I don't know. And they asked me to be on staff, and I was like, sure, that'll make my dad proud. It's stupid.
Mm,
Um, but taking up all that time from 20s to 30, I could have been training in some other job. I could have been doing the normal thing. And then when I got out, luckily I had a job at a hotel. It was still minimal though. Like, I did laundry. I like the minimal jobs. It's just the way that I can handle things.
yeah,
Don't
minimal
don't give me
job.
yeah,
Headphones in. Oh, lovely.
don't give me stress, more stress. Like if you ask me to be a supervisor, like could I do it? Sure. Could I do it every day? Probably not. It'd be days where I'm like, fuck this, like I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to talk to that wise ass, or whatever. And that's the problem with being disabled like this is your limitations. I have progress in other things, but when it comes to work, give me a labor job. Give me something where I know what I'm going to do. Don't give me something dealing with lots of different people. 'Cause I'll have my good days, but I'll have my bad.
Yeah.
Man, I remember the hotel took me away from laundry, and they wanted me to be a front desk clerk, a front desk person like that charges people and says, "Hello, welcome to blah blah."
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it was the worst. It was the worst. I hated it so bad. It lasted like 6 months, and that's it. And it's funny now when I look back.
Yeah, I was not good with customer facing, but I think it taught me so much, and it taught me how to, how to speak to people and how to really think of, someone else's experience, especially when they're getting paid minimum wage. The amount of people, customers who just spoke to me, and I just turned to them and was like, I get paid minimum wage. And I'll just walk off. I was like, that's all I'm saying, and that's all I need to say, and I'm walking away.
And it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah, yeah. Hello?
Yep.
Sorry. What's that? Oh yeah, 4 minutes, darling. Okay. Sorry, my daughter is knocking on the door.
It's so good.
We've got 4 minutes left to round up the 2 hours. I did say these can take sort of 4 hours. I did quite a small one. But if you enjoyed it and you'd like to finish the rest on your channel, I would really happily join you.
Absolutely. Probably next Tuesday. How about Tuesday coming up?
Yeah.
Yeah, that for now that seems pretty good.
At the same time?
Yeah, same time, same channel, but it'll be on my channel.
Yeah, do we have anyone in modern? I don't think so.
I thought I saw someone earlier.
Definitely drop it in the description of this channel if anyone isn't already subscribed. Please do go over. You've got some great videos, very insightful as well.
Thank you for saying that. Really, I feel like they're I don't mean to be all down and gloomy, but I do cringe. I'm like, okay. But what I like about my videos is that I'm being sincere.
Yeah.
And it's very therapeutic to say your mind and not worry so much about the social things of how do I look, how do I sound, blah, blah, blah. How are my graphics, nothing against graphics. But I just wanted to be sincerely myself. And that's really the message. I can look back at some of my videos. I don't look back on them. I might listen to them after I've done it, just to kind of see how I sound. How I sound to somebody new with new ears, but it's part of my condition too. I look down at myself. It's what I do. It sucks, but it just happens. It's like maybe it's part of that depression.
I feel like if you have a late diagnosis, you've got a lifetime of thinking, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? And you get the diagnosis, and instead of going, that's why it's so hard for me to keep up with X, Y, or Z, you go, that's what's wrong with me. And you say, this is what's wrong with me. This is what's wrong with me. And it's nothing is wrong with you. Would you meet someone who had multiple conditions, multiple things that are making everything that they try and do in life much harder on them as a person? Would you meet someone knowing every single aspect of their life is in some way harder and go, you should be doing better?
Right.
Absolutely not. I really can't see you doing that. So why would we do it to ourselves?
Yeah, that's good. Good point. And coming to it has been fun, but also like I wish I knew earlier, but I'm happy where I am now. And so, that thing like, oh, if you could go back any decade and redo a decade, it's a great question for fantasy, but like honestly, I'm kind of happy where I am, to be honest. And
An early diagnosis isn't like I thought I had a diagnosis in primary school. So when I was like 7,
oh,
and then
you reminded me of something, by the way. I just don't want to forget.
oh yeah, I was just say yeah. So I was like forced, like my head teacher would force tablets down my throat, and I'd be on different
Oh my
trials of medication.
God.
Like
Holy
they would put
shit.
electrodes on my brain and try and make me watch a dot like go. It was not fun.
What the
Yeah, it was
fuck,
not.
dude?
So now I need to like go
I'm
through.
so sorry. I'm so sorry.
No, but I know I could probably really do with ADHD medication, but I haven't been on it for all this time just because I've had such a negative, and
Yeah.
they trialed things on me. So it wasn't like good. It
Well,
was a
see,
bad time.
I did use Adderall, and Adderall was not good for me. Just because I used it before knowing my diagnosis. So Adderall mixed with schizophrenia is just not a good not a good mix.
No.
For me it wasn't. So I was on there temporarily and then I got off. But ADHD medications, that was funny thing is Adderall did work for me. I got a lot of shit done and I did get focused, but because of my hyper focus, which I wasn't aware of, I fucking hyper focused on Adderall to the point of like causing problems for other people without knowing it. And it was pretty intense. I had intense moments with it. So for me, I had to be off it. It works for others, I'm sure. But yeah.
Yeah. It's not always easier with an earlier diagnosis.
No. THC helps me a lot too. It helps me with the definitely depression. It'll actually cheer me up, like it'll lighten me up and
Yeah.
not be so serious. And also it helps a lot with just general peace of mind at times. This is another thing that really benefits me from the THC as medicine is it makes me more content, like less impulsive. Like I'll feel
Yeah.
more content, and that's important for me. And anyway, I'm sure there's other reasons too I'll think of. But yeah,
I've
I got
actually
nothing.
today I've just applied for a clinic, medical marijuana clinic.
Wow, that's cool. Yeah.
Because you can get like medical, you can get it medically in the UK, but otherwise
Yeah.
it is not legal.
It's legal?
No, it's illegal still.
Yeah. So yeah, get that card, absolutely. And I think it's a great thing to have, and just use it wisely and that's about it. Or use it unwisely if you want to have some fun,
Right, I think I've come to a natural finishing point here, and my
Oh,
daughter's
sure.
Xbox time's run out, so she's
Oh,
not happy.
okay.
She wants
Yep.
my attention now. I'm at her again. So
That's
I'm
awesome.
gonna go lap up some love and attention from my preteen before it runs out.
You bet. Hey, awesome. I loved it.
So,
Yeah, let's do this again. Hold on, let me fix my camera. If I can. Here we go.
but it's been so lovely to chat to you. Thank you so
Yeah,
much
that's
for
great.
coming on.
Yep.
And people can catch us next week on the Holy Rogues channel, and I will remember to pop that in the description.
Thanks. Yeah, Tuesday, 10 o'clock Eastern
And
Standard Time.
did you enjoy the art therapy, the style?
I totally loved it. Yeah, totally. This is what I got so far. Kind of, you
Uh,
know, it's really nice just to trace lines, to
yeah.
talk and think. It helps me think.
Pencil
Mm.
crayon's so nice. I'm like, but then I'm like, no, talk, remember.
Yeah.
That's what I've got so far.
Oh, wow.
Things
I
like
like it.
this.
Wow. I see, yeah, so many different things in there.
Kind of looks like a penny farthing now. I look at it.
Looks like what?
A penny farthing. You know, it has the one big wheel at the back and the small one, and then the seat.
Oh, okay.
Living penny farthing. Anyway,
I'd see a big foot. There's
a big foot.
See the foot sticking up from the top? It's upside down. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, it's a
Yeah,
little
yeah.
foot. It is. Okay, contortionist. That's what we have there.
That's funny.
Right, thank you so much. I'm gonna run feed my little one. Thank you all for joining us as well. Appreciate you all.
Take care. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.